Want to thank everybody for watching Crypto Revolution. We talk about everything crypto almost daily, jumping right into the market. Bitcoin not taking off. Bitcoin pulling back. We've got to talk about a 15 to 20x altcoin that has a tremendous amount of upside. We're going to talk about an altcoin that is way ahead of the rest of the altcoin market as far as the altcoin market cycle goes, right? This thing has already ran through accumulation, had parabolic rallies. So we're going to talk about that coin as well. And then I've got a good example on a lot of these altcoins have been scanning charts, and like they're not even really bottoming yet or forming a good base. So I want to go over an example of that. So you're going to see what we're going to look forward to over the next 2 years that are going to make us a ridiculous amount of money as far as these altcoins. And then I want to give you an idea like where some coins are trying to bottom and form a good base. And these bases, the longer the bases are, the longer the accumulation, the crazier the upside. So very important video to watch to the end. Bitcoin 4-hour chart. So like we talked about yesterday, the previous idea of a bull pennant where basically Bitcoin broke out to the upside apparently and then pulled back into the pattern. So now it looks more like a rising channel. This is supposed to break lower. If this does break lower, there's a lot of people ready to buy Bitcoin. They missed this move. We have seen situations where this breaks higher in very bullish market conditions. So this is more of a better to react than predict type of pattern. But break to the downside, you're probably going to catch a bunch of bids around 33,000, even 33,500. There's going to be a bunch of buyers stacked on the way down to, you just don't want to see the Bitcoin bulls lose 31,800, and this uptrend will continue. Bitcoin weekly charts very bullish. We said above 31,800. Bullish on the weekly chart. You're above the weekly 200 SMA, which is the bear market bottom. Everything very bullish at this point for Bitcoin. Zooming in again, the 15-minute time frame, a small time frame. Here you can see, I mean, basically you just have this chop city and Bitcoin barely hanging on to the lower trend line of this pattern. I've got some amazing shout outs to give in my trading group. If you want to make the most of the coming bull market, we have the biggest financial opportunity of our lifetimes right now in front of us. Over the next 2 years, you can just watch the channel if you want. We're going to make ridiculous amounts of money. If you want more hands-on, more one-on-one, more constant updates, I can help you. Join the regular trading group. It's $2 a day. You pay for a year, you get a month free. And we're going to nail bangers all the time. Shout outs for Mask, 32% banger, 49% out of SCRT, 80% out of ACE, 33%. 5 days after KSM was posted, Matic up 28%, Aave up 27%, which I gave to you. Mask up 25%. Our leverage trading group's killing it, 200%, 200%, 200%. All you have to do is shoot me an email, cryptobitcoinchris@gmail.com. We'll get you in the groups and we'll run the bull market all the way to the upside together. Bitcoin stalls at 35,000 as gains flow into altcoins. Crypto's early bull market rotation, this analyst says. Well, one thing I can say about this is the way the market works is Bitcoin needs to bring all the new money into the market, right? This will happen over time, right? We have we're very early as far as the bullish market cycle goes, right? We haven't even got to the Bitcoin halving yet. We're looking for the bull market to top out October, November, December 2025, okay? So if you're holding coins, those are the months where you want to look up, consider, profit taking, right? But they're talking about layer one cryptos that have really taken off: AVAX, ADA, DOT, Solana, and some DeFi that have taken off as well: Aave, Uni, and SushiSwap. They forgot to mention quite a few coins, and I want to go into detail on these chart patterns just to give you the ideas of what we're looking for. I've personally been through quite a few of these market cycles, and I know exactly we're going to see the same type patterns, the same bottoming out of the altcoins, and it becomes just second nature. So I'll show you what we're looking for. So this is Rose. Rose was on the hold list, and we're up 32%. But one of the most, Rose is just getting started, so it just broke out, right? And if you look over here, right, I mean, back in 2021, you were right here. You're right here. Rose is back. It's starting out where it just was in 2021. So if you didn't take profits, I mean, Rose did crazy parabolic gains. I think we're going to see 15x or more out of Rose this upcoming bull market cycle. We could see 20x, right? And so this is good long-term hold idea. Obviously, we're going to have a bunch of new coins. Those are going to be the hot coins. They're going to have the most upside because they can just promise the world and they don't actually have to produce a working product, right? But Rose starting to take off over the last few days. Trading group. Now, I want you to understand, let me move this out of the way. I want you to understand this idea. So when the coins, when they start to bottom, right, it's kind of like a ball. If you drop a ball from this level, you get bounces. Slowly the bounces get smaller and smaller and smaller. Now, if this thing just goes sideways for an extended period of time, like you're going to get these initial breakouts, if it doesn't just moon mission, or if this is a falling wedge, then the target for upside up here is just this open-ended of the falling wedge, right? So target's up here and you get 100% gains out of Rose, depending on Bitcoin. But if it just continues to kind of flow in this range, then you'll get crazy parabolic upside. And I'll show you a chart that looks like this. Well, actually Pendle, like it goes through this long accumulation process, right? Accumulation, like Pendle is way ahead of all the altcoins, right? It's on a completely different market cycle schedule. If you go to the top coins over the past year, the top 200, if you look, the Pendle up 13x for the year, like that's really not a whole lot. As one of the top coins for the entire year of 2023, these are not really big numbers. 357% of the AGIX, TRB, which has been taking off 562%. I mean, over for the year, like we're going to see crazy multiples compared to what we've seen this year, right? These altcoins are still trying to bottom. But real quick, back to Rose. Rose, 15 to 20x altcoin. You see how it's got this long accumulation where it's going through this accumulation, right? As this continues and cycles higher, Rose is down. It's still down almost 90% from its highs. It's these coins. I'm telling you, this is just the beginning. So Rose, they have partnered with Meta, Facebook, obviously, BMW Group, Genetica, and quite a few other partnerships, right? They're trying to build platforms and products that further individual privacy protection, data governance, and responsible data use. So they have Sapphire, which is a privacy-enabled paratime, and it's the first and only confidential Ethereum virtual machine. Has the compatibility with EVM, right? So Solidity developers can now easily switch from Web3. So that's another key hype word, Web3, right? EVM are big names, and they're essentially going to be able to build Web3 apps, decentralized apps like never before. So remember that Rose is the Oasis network, and they're trying to establish their foundation in the Web3 world. So when Web3 takes off, remember, you can use MEXC, the VIP link in the description will give you half price trading fees, and you can trade with leverage, you can trade spot, and Oasis Network is on MEXC. There's like 2,000 altcoins on MEXC. Now Ren, so this is a coin where I was just going over and explaining like the part of the market cycle where Ren's at. So if you look at where Ren is just still bouncing. Right, so you had a nice 75% run up out of Ren just because it broke out of this falling wedge, right? Falling wedge breakout, right? And the measured move is this distance here, right? So you take it over here and you see that, okay, obviously I'm not saying, hey, buy right here, but the point is that I really am needing to make is understand this entire market structure right here, right? Which is probably a big falling wedge, is just, it's way back here in the market cycle, way back here. This thing is just getting started. Now, see how that you have this bounce here, right? You have this bounce here. So that could have been this falling wedge here, and then it bounced. So we'll delete this one. And that could have been just this bounce right here, right? You really want to see these altcoins go through this accumulation. Now, if you notice previously, Pendle, when it dropped, had a big bounce, like the bouncy ball, right? You drop the ball from this level and you bounce, and the next bounce isn't quite as high, and the next bounce isn't quite as high, and then it starts to roll like a ball, right? So when these, I'm telling you guys, altcoin season, we're going to see all the charts are going to look like this. And you can see Pendle previously has went completely parabolic, right? Straight up only. So, I mean, at one point, this thing ran, again, it was one of the top gainers for the entire year in the top 200. And we need the new money to come into the market, bring the easy money in, because they're just going to FOMO into everything as it's pumping. The new money, the sheep, they're going to come in. They're not going to know what they're doing. And we're going to have a huge advantage because we know to take profits. We know not to diamond hand downtrends. We know, I mean, look at Rose. Imagine if you would have diamond hand Rose back in 2021. You started with $1,000, you'd have the same $1,000 right now. Maybe 1,300 because it's pumping. Like, that's not the way you make money in this market. The way you make money is buying low and selling high. And you're not, it's not about like, let me nail this exact top. It's like, hey, I'm going to take profits on the way up, right? And be happy with what it is. And I'm going to roll it over into the next coin that hasn't taken off, or just like Ren is just starting to take off. Potentially you get this extended accumulation that happens over time, and this gives whales more time to accumulate, and then you see the market completely just take off after Bitcoin dominance starts to falter, right? But it's up to Bitcoin to bring all the new money into this market. This is the poster child of crypto, and we need Bitcoin to take off to crazy prices where everybody on the news is talking about Bitcoin, and all your friends are out of the blue. They're like, aren't you involved in Bitcoin somehow? Like, when you start getting those calls, you're like, okay, here comes the sheep. Here comes the new money. Here comes the FOMO money. Here comes the money that's easy to take, right? This is not a game where you lose money. Other people take your money. You don't just, it doesn't just disappear. This is player versus player. Right, so just to recap, Rose 15x coin pick over the bull market, and Ren's just one of those coins that always has good upside. Pendle needs to break above 97 cents and hold it. You could see a double up, 100% increase out of Pendle if it breaks out to the upside. Previously, it pumped, but what happened? Everybody took profits. And then what happened? Anybody that bought into this pump, guess what? They're in losses, right? And so the most important thing is that when you buy into these coins, you want to see like a bullish retest where the coin price comes back down and retests about 97 cents, holds that level, and then takes off. That's where the strongest group of buyers is sitting at, right there. Right, so we'll be joking about rounded bottoms pay the bills. We'll just laugh about it. Rounded bottoms pay the bills. You got this like cup and handle forming, rounded bottom, cup and handle. We'll laugh about cup season. Watch. This market's going to get incredibly easy to trade, but you got to understand like these basic ideas and how the price action works, where the whales are buying. Well, this is markdown phase. This is the bear market. This is reaccumulation. This is markup phase where you can make a ton of money. You just have to enter these coins after the price action flips a 200 simple moving average on the daily time frame. and creates this. You want the base. You want these bases to form. I could give you an example of like SHIB, for example. We had a long base on SHIB. Let me see if I can pull it up real quick in the group. Okay, so last cycle, right, SHIB, we saw, yeah, you got this base forming, right? And then you get a 900% markup. I said, hey, I think SHIB's going to do, it's a new coin like Doge. It's getting listed on Binance, and I think it could do 100% or more, and it does 900%, right? That's the type of guidance. If you need that guidance, I can provide it for you. Shoot me an email. I love you guys. Thank you very much for making this all possible. Like, subscribe to the channel, hit the comment button, leave me a comment. If there's any coins that you like, leave me a message in the comments, and I'll check into it.